Okay, so we have a lot of news to cover in the next few videos. So let's start off with a rumor that is more than likely true, but take with a grain of salt. Nothing is confirmed yet. But there's this article here from TFW. This is from Bleeding Cool. And they're saying that a cartoon series based on Skybound's Transformers and G.I. Joe Energon universe might be in the works. And there's an excerpt from the article that I'm going to read and give you guys my thoughts on everything as always. And of course, my cat is making noise and playing right under me as I'm recording, so ignore that noise. But anyway, let's read this. Robert Kirkman's Skybound is bringing Transformers and G.I. Joe together in a new animated streaming series. The show will be based on the hit Energon Universe comic books now published through Image Comics. Transformers and G.I. Joe comic rights moved to Skybound after Hasbro pulled them from IDW Publishing. Announcement expected at San Diego Comic-Con, with the series promising shocking developments. Ooh, wow. I've gotten the nod from senior industry sources that Robert Kirkman's Skybound Entertainment's next big news is that they have sold a new Transformers G.I. Joe Shared Universe animated streaming series. It is based on the current Energon Universe comic books that Skybound publishes through Image Comics. Kirkman and Skybound have formed in this regard as they are behind The Walking Dead and Invincible. Might that tie in with the new animated series? I don't know, but Skybound does like to announce these things at San Diego Comic-Con, and there's one of those on in a month's time. Might there be more than meets the eye, or will they decide to hold off until New York Comic-Con or split the difference? TFCon Chicago is in October. So, yeah, I mean, this is crazy, guys. I was kind of thinking in the back of my mind the last year or so that maybe we could get a series out of these comics. They are getting pretty popular. This is something that Kirkman likes to do with his stories, obviously with Invincible and The Walking Dead becoming hit series. It would only be right that Transformers, one of the biggest IPs in the world, would get that same treatment for a comic book that has been doing very well for almost 2 years now. It's pretty crazy. The comic's been out for almost 2 years. Time is flying by so freaking fast. I have to catch up on the comics with that. I think the last time I read it was like issue 7, and I know they're way beyond issue 7 now. The last time I read one was in April or May of last year. So yeah, I got a lot to catch up. But from what I've seen in terms of discussions on Twitter and stuff, and screenshots from panels of stuff that I haven't read yet, it looks insane. It looks gritty. It just looks perfect. Like that more mature, grown-up Transformers that a lot of people have been begging for the last decade now, or more than a decade. So if this really is made into a series, it makes a hell of a lot of sense, because you're aging up Transformers. You're moving into a realm of the franchise and the fandom and a broader audience with the world in general in a way that would shed a new light onto the franchise for the new era, for the 2020s. It's been pretty rocky. We all know this for Transformers the last 5-10 years with cartoons and movies. So I feel like if this is true, this is going to be a big hit like Invincible. It's freaking alien robots being gritty, smashing each other apart with a more mature storyline in animated form. That's in right now. That's huge. It's been huge the last 20-something years. So, I think this is a great move from Kirkman and Hasbro and just everybody involved, because, they're struggling right now. They need something that's going to break out and set them apart from everybody else while also still keeping with current trends. That's going to make things popular, and that's going to put the brand into the public eye more so than the last few years, with something that is actually really good and more mature. Transformers 1, it did deal with serious elements, but it was, again, on the kiddie side. Rise of the Beasts, it was mature, but again, PG-13, they were trying to appeal to kids a little bit. If this is like Invincible, which it probably will be, judging by how the comics are handled, then we are in store for something extremely special, guys. And this has been something that I've really wanted to see from Transformers for a while now. I'm not talking about fake dark stuff like the War for Cybertron Netflix series or Transformers Prime. I'm talking about real, mature, gritty stuff from Transformers. And Skybound's been delivering on that, which I really do love. And the fact that this is floating around now and this is probably going to happen, I mean, I'm not surprised at all that this is now a rumor. I think I even speculated this would happen at some point in some past videos of mine on the channel. I'm not sure on that, but it's something I've had as an idea in my head that this is something that could happen in the near future. So, better sooner than later with this thing, because it could lose steam, people could lose interest, the story might not be as good or as consistent going forward in the next couple years for these comics. You just never know with comic books. That's just how it is. So I'm glad they're striking while the iron is hot with these Skybound comics and something maybe in the works. But yeah, guys, this is some great news. I feel like this is what the franchise needs right now, and sort of a low point. And hopefully this does come to fruition, because this would be absolutely epic. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below. How do y'all feel about a potential series based off of the Skybound comics with G.I. Joe and Transformers, as a matter of fact? I totally forgot about that. They may be tying into the upcoming live action movie, the comics, everything. Hasbro wants to do that brand synergy with everything, whether it's Marvel, Star Wars, G.I. Joe, Transformers. They want to do things that are similar with different medias, the toys, movies, cartoons, comics. So it does make sense as well that they're bringing in G.I. Joe into the fold. It would be a perfect idea. So hopefully we do get that movie around the 2027 date. That would be most ideal. And hopefully the show drops around that time too, maybe next year or 2027. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below. How do y'all feel about this development? And yeah, thank y'all for watching this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.